Hello everyone, and welcome now to game number 2 between JJAKJI and AcerBly. AcerBly currently in the hole 1-0 in this series as Bly spawns as the blue Zerg on the bottom right hand side of the map. This was taken from the Zotac Cup finals. Once again, hats off and thank you to Zotac. I will probably be thanking them for quite a while, as those are the only replays I seem to be able to get out there. Yeah, the guys over there were really nice and was able to direct me to a couple non-English sites. And, well, not that I'll ever be able to read German or Dutch, but at least know how to navigate through those websites. Alright, on the bottom right-hand side, so far, AcerBly hasn't really shown anything. Getting up an Overlord, we can see pretty much standard play. And I'm curious as to how he will open here on Belshir Vestige. Now, we can see back over here, though, JJAKJI has not yet set up anything else out of the ordinary. We should be seeing that barracks come across here in just a second. No, is it going to be a 12 racks? Is it going to be a proxy barracks? Oh, it is a proxy barracks. So JJAKJI is setting up a proxy barracks down over here, and it will be quickly scouted out by Bly. Bly is going to find this, scout it out, and attack and take down this poor SCV. A second SCV already making its way in, and what is going to be happening here as the drone and the SCV are battling it out? Who's going to win out on this battle here, as the drone has taken a fair bit of damage? SCV now repairing the other SCV here, as the drone is going to get its own friendly firing unit here, and this drone now needs to back off, perhaps going to send after and go after the SCV again. This is very, very problematic for JJAKJI. JJAKJI, oh, gets the drone kill, a huge kill there. There's a cancellation on the building, and what is JJAKJI going to do now? He is now pretty much very much behind the 8-ball in terms of trying to figure out what to do next. He canceled that barracks and all of that precious time. In addition to that, he lost a fair amount of resources. All right, there's a drone coming in. Is the drone going to get the kill? Oh, the SCV trying to go away. Oh, there is some beautiful micro here coming back and forth. That is 50 minerals on the field. What is going to be happening? And oh, the drone. Can he get it? Can he get it? Oh, my gosh, this drone is just doing such a great job. Oh, gosh. That SCV escapes with 1 hit point. And wow, JJAKJI just is so happy. That SCV outmaneuvering, out-juking 2 drones, and now going to try to come back in. He wants to see whether or not the hatchery has been placed down. He does in fact see it, and all right, what is he going to do now? Is he... Oh my gosh, this SCV, I swear he has a death wish, as he is now sitting on the inside of his, or on the inside of his opponent's base, hiding in plain sight, so to speak. And there are no Zerglings or drones on the map. He could have had a safe walk all the way back home, but instead, he's going to find himself at the wrong end of a queen and that spine. All right, there you go. There's the hit. There it goes down. The claw taking it out extremely easily, and that scouting SCV does get destroyed. All right, I had high hopes for that SCV. He did so much maneuvering. He was able to just walk back home if he wanted to. But no, apparently he did not want to succumb to the life of carrying 5 minerals every so often. No, he wanted to make a difference, and what a difference he made. All right, Queen now making his way back down here to the 6 o'clock expansion location. We are going to be seeing a Roach push coming in from Bly, so rather interesting. We are currently looking at 5 Roaches, so this is going to be that 5 Roach push, and with only Marines at that front door, SCVs will be forced or will need to be pulled. Now we are also getting Burrow, and because of the lack of detection by JJAKJI, JJAKJI is going to end up taking a lot of damage here. If all of these Roaches are able to regenerate their hit points, I believe it's 5 hit points a second while burrowed, it is going to be extremely difficult for JJAKJI to really do anything. Instead, JJAKJI going very quickly into siege tanks, and you got to remember, siege tanks with siege or automatically come out with siege tech now, so they should be able to deal with these Roaches. The Roaches do have natural regeneration, or very good regeneration while burrowed, and the timing on this is going to be extremely close, as we're now looking at the attack. All right, let's go. Going after this one bunker here. That bunker taking a lot of damage. SCV quickly getting taken down. There is is one Roach right here. There's the burrow, and now the other Marine does get shot as well. Oh, there's a siege tank. That siege tank is going to just absolutely destroy everything. Are they going to start burrowing? That is the question there. And will he just burrow, trying to take down, and they have moved their way through, doing a lot of damage. They are now all burrowed right there. And are we going to get a scanner sweep? All right, we do have enough energy for a scanner sweep. All right, there's a scanner sweep. All of them are just going to get targeted now. And the Roaches are just destroying so many SCVs, though. Already 9 worker kills, 10 worker kills, as this Roach is going to survive. And now another Roach making its way over. All right, the Roaches are regenerating those hit points. I believe it is 5 hit points a second. Huge play, as JJAKJI now needs to retreat with this orbital command. And as he's retreating with this orbital command, he needs to figure out what to do next. He knows he doesn't have good saturation, so I would assume he's going to land it and at least start training up SCVs to head back home. You can see that there is that double Roach right there. Are we going to perhaps get into a starport? There's a missile turret right on the top. No more burrowing on the ramp, and this is what Bly's response is going to be. He's taking up another base and wants to beat down his opponent with that very strong economic advantage. Drones now making their way down off over here. You can see double gas now at the natural double evolution chambers, and if he can maintain an economic advantage, he should come out of this very, very smoothly. Resources lost 815 versus 562. However, the income is really where the story is. As you can see, there's a 400 resource difference between these, or 300 to 400 resource difference between these two armies. Gas is considerably close, but everything else is pretty, or the minerals are just have a very large discrepancy. 44 workers compared to 26, and now with a third base on the way, Bly should be able to just have a license to drone and finish things up. All right, that Roach needs to run back. It looks like he will be able to run all the way back there. There's the burrow just outside of sight range on that missile turret, and now we see JJAKJI setting up his natural expansion, finally mining minerals at that 10-minute mark. All right, Roach hiding in the back gets taken down once again. Units lost, units killed. Siege tanks just all in position. Marines right there as well. JJAKJI only set behind by about a minute or two, and normally most of the average players out there would say to themselves, you know what, at 10-minute mark, I'm good. I set up my expansion, I have my siege tanks, I'm building off my wall, I'm in a very good position. However, these professional players just know how far behind they truly are. I would say about a minute and a half to 2 is how far behind JJAKJI is, and he needs to make some sort of play and in order to even things up. There's the income. You can see how much larger it is for the Zerg at this time. Army supply is actually much smaller for Bly, and Bly, this is where he has to be extremely careful. If he does not build up enough units in the coming moments, he is going to be very far behind. His opponent's army is actually 3-1 to his own unit, so even though he does have a supply advantage, or now a supply disadvantage, even though he had a supply advantage for quite some time, he is really not that far ahead if there was an all-out brawl. Now, I gotta believe that JJAKJI wants to bring a fight. Is he gonna be aggressive? Does he know that he himself has an advantage with his army, or is he just gonna move out with these cautionary 8-man medevacs and perhaps try and take down key targets that way? 1-0 upgrades. Getting started. Meanwhile, 2-0 upgrades for the Zerg, or 2-1 upgrades? No, 2-2 upgrades now coming in for the Zerg. As you can see, there is a medevac right here. This medevac not going to be able to do much of anything. He's now going to afterburner its way, and is going to try and drop anywhere with, in particular, you can see the Marines are now coming down. There is a spore crawler. There is all of those Zerglings. One Marine, I believe, no, none of them even got a love tap at all. As JJAKJI sitting over here on the bottom left with a medevac in the corner, hoping that there is an opening sometime soon. There's a spore crawler right here, though, that should be able to take down, or at least harm the medevac in some way, shape, or form, as JJAKJI is moving out with Marines, Marauders, Combat Shield now being added once again, in addition to level 1 weapons upgrades. those Marines really need to catch up in the upgrade war. Otherwise, they're going to be behind, I believe, 3 full upgrades once those Zerglings get to 2-2. Medevac now coming in. We do see a flat-out destruction of a hatchery in production there. You can see JJAKJI all getting in position. He is rolling on out. His army is now a 3-2 in terms of size, as the Queen now trying to engage. This is not looking good. JJAKJI is just going to walk in here and destroy many of these units. You can see the Marines are now backing off once more. And now what are we going to be having here? All right, the hatchery going to get taken down. There it goes. Marines and Zerglings battling it up, and now JJAKJI somehow was able to just move out with a massive force of Marines and Marauders just holding onto those units, and now has taken the advantage. I don't believe he ever stopped training army units, and because of that, he has the superior army, 82-63, and as that army just walks on in, things are just very, very sad for Bly. Yes, Bly does have a significant amount of income advantage, or he did for a while, but because of the losses, JJAKJI is now back in this and currently neck and neck, as we are looking at 2 Marines go target practice on a larva. All right, there you go. Mutalisk now trying to engage there. Not going to really work. The Marines are all there. Meanwhile, Banelings and Zerglings now running along the backside. Where are they going to go? Are they going to find an opening? There is some SCVs here. The Banelings did not scout that orbital command, perhaps knowing that something is being lifted off and about to land there. And all the Zerglings now just decide to run away. Gonna go ahead and take down a free SCV, and those Banelings are just gonna, I believe, burrow in position. Yes, burrow in position and try and take down unsuspecting SCVs. All right, Marines, Marauders have cleared out the bottom left and now looking to move on in and take down the 6 o'clock position. That would be extremely, extremely bad news for Bly, even though Bly had such a large advantage throughout this. So Bly now the one who is truly in trouble. The Mutalisk now coming in and engage, going to take down 2 of those medevacs. Very easy units there. 3,500 versus 1,850. And what was this? We see a liftoff on the orbital command. Perhaps he was suspecting something, as the Mutalisk almost take down a free Marauder, as those Marines were just not close enough. All right, the Mutalisk starting to reach a very, very good critical mass. Number 10 upgrades with that tissue regeneration means that they can do hit and runs pretty much all day and not get taken out, even with a handful of Marines who are stretched extremely thin. Bly now deciding to expand to the 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock locations after losing the 7 o'clock location. So expanding in the opposite direction, which is not a direction that you would normally see here on Belshir Vestige. You can see that it's a very, very short walking distance between the 2 bases there, and that's got to be a major alleyway of destruction here in just a moment, as we're looking at the Zerglings and Banelings now roll out. And I believe this expansion has been scouted. The Zerglings are going to be right there taking down that Marine. And the Marines are already, the Zerglings are already seeing that 2-2, while the Marines are now just getting this started with their 2-2 upgrades. Zerg flyer attack. Ready to go. 2-0 upgrades. Banelings and Zerglings still being trained off over here. What is happening next? All of these Mutalisks now gonna perhaps flock to the back here. There are a handful of, or what, 1 missile turret and a whole bunch of Marines right there, and that closes the door on anything Bly wanted to do. Bly now deciding to come back with these Mutalisks, looking for an opening. Has not spotted one as of yet. Could try to make its way back off into the north. There are a handful of Marines, but there is a lot more Mutalisks. Those Marines won't stand a chance in just sheer number of Mutalisks because of that Glaive Worm bounce. All right, let's see what's going to be happening there. There goes another Marine once again. And we're still looking at all these units as the Mutalisks just simply fly inside the main base, and it has almost free reign inside here. The Mutalisks are now backing off. All those Marines are trying to get into position, but they are absolutely getting destroyed now, as there is an army lying in wait ready to jump up and seize the opportunity if perhaps an opening is made available. Another medevac drop here at the 9 o'clock position, resetting the expansion. And Bly just has to be concerned about that now. Alright, JJAKJI feeling comfortable with the 7 siege tanks and the 70 submarines that he has. Alright, Zerglings now making their way into the main base here. You can see that all of those siege tanks will get destroyed. There goes one. Are we going to see any more? No, they are not going to get destroyed here. No more Marines destruction, but a huge Baneling hit right off over here. There is still one Zergling there. Too bad you cannot morph a burrowed Zergling into a Baneling. That would be absolutely incredible. As the Zergling would just sit there and hide pretty much all game until it decided to explode at just the right time, taking down many of the units. Alright, Marines gonna attempt to do a little bit of a swap trade as well. They are successful as a new hatchery needs to be placed down. Currently there's a hatchery here at what I'll call the 2 o'clock position. That 2 o'clock position may just end up eating all of the Marines or all of the drones that were at the 4 o'clock position moments ago. Alright, here you go. There's the engagement. Mutalisk trying to take down, able to get through 2 siege tanks very quickly. Now, going after some more units again. Another siege tank gets taken out. And this is looking extremely bad for JJAKJI. JJAKJI needs to mass up all of his Marines, and now he has done exactly that to try and take them down. The Banelings are on a roll and ready to go as they head back home. So far, we see Banelings just hiding off over here. Multiple Baneling landmines could be hit all across the map. This is one of the things where you have to be extremely cautious, as we're now looking at Thors being added to JJAKJI's army as well. Thor, those very slow but very hard-hitting units, can also be effective against, I believe, Hydralisks, based on their attack damage. Alright, the Mutalisk still looking to back off again. Those Thors, however, mainly anti-air to try and protect against the swarm. The Thor is now realizing that they're just simply a little bit too slow. And there we also see Zerglings and Banelings now ready to push on through. Marines of JJAKJI clearing up another base here at the 8 o'clock position and now ready to move on out. Where are they going to be going next? It looks like it's going to be going to the 7 or 8 o'clock position. The Zerglings are all in position, ready, lying in wait for those delicious meat popsicles to fall from the sky. But that is just not happening here. You can see the units are now making their way over. And oh, this was a huge flyby. Are they going to make it inside the base? I do believe so. I believe there is actually landing room right here. And there you have it. No, the medevac gets shot down. A huge loss by JJAKJI. Is it JJAKJI? JJAKJI. With both players now sitting on 3 bases, I have to give the advantage in favor of the Terran. The Terran player, even on bases, not nearly or not mined out at the second one nearly as much as Bly is here. Actually, no, I take it back. This is a very good mineral spread across all of these minerals, and that means that Bly actually could have a bit of a lead here. All right, the Marines are now making their way in. Oh, no big hit there whatsoever. Now trying to fly back around. You can see that those units are just simply giving chase again, and now all of those Mutalisks are now just gonna be retreating. Zerglings, Banelings on the move. Mutalisk still flying through the air. Looks like this hatchery will get cancelled again for the second time, or destroyed for the second time. No, going to be left alone. Not quite sure why, as we're also looking at another drop happening over here. One Marine took out another, as the Mutalisks are just looking around. Looks like that Marine going to get taken out. Another full medevac destroyed, and that is going to be the death of Terran unless he plays absolutely beautifully in the upcoming fights. Thors are now ready to go. Let's see. There's the Thor. Thor is very efficient units for their size. They do a lot of damage, and they are just a force to be reckoned with. With that 40 damage, they're able to pop down one of the larger targets in just 2 to 3 rounds of attack. many of the times, as the mutalisk now try to swarm on in. All right, it looks as though the medevac trying all of her fancy flying moves, but not going to work. The mutalisks have caught up to it again, and now we see a drop here at the 3 o'clock northern position. JJAKJI now just trying to figure out what he can do at this stage. He is out of base now, and being down a base with a Zerg is pretty much near death. All right, let's see what's happening elsewhere on the map. More productions by the Terran. Meanwhile, Zerg's continuing to spend more money on resources. Let's see what their spending is. Yeah, the resource spending much higher in terms of minerals by Bly than for JJAKJI. All right, that could have been a beautiful opportunity for another Baneling blowout, but no, we are not going to be having that. Marines, siege tanks, marauders now getting into position. This position is perhaps one of the most favorable for him. Is he going to smelt him? Oh, there's that hit. Lying in wait, being patient, taking down a handful of Marines with just a few Zerglings. Able to do exactly that, walking over that pathway so many times, as the Zerglings gonna go ahead and finish off that Marine. Coming back around, you can see that the Zerglings are attempting to take down this bunker over here. SCVs are working overtime, and they will be able to repair it. Meanwhile, an Overlord just suicides its way in. And this is not the JJAKJI that we saw from Game 1. JJAKJI actually making a bit of mistakes here. And at this stage, on this grand stage, you cannot be making mistakes that you're making here. It looks like he's just trying to rush his way through. And now with Ultralisk finally out on the field, perhaps we will see the Fog of War completely removed, and then perhaps we will even see some of the other units that AcerBly says he has in his deck that are just extra fun. But he needs to pull off with a win here, otherwise he's gonna have to take everything a little. He's gonna have a hard time, as we're looking at Bly just charging through the front door here, almost able to make its way out. You can see that there are a whole bunch of siege tanks and Thors lined up. And the Ultralists are simply just saying to themselves, alright, you can hit me. I guess I will take my toy and go home. Alright. Oh, Mutalisk accidentally flying to a group of Thors. That's the end of pretty much all of those Mutalisks there. If a second Thor was there, or a third Thor was there, I believe that entire flock would have just been destroyed in a moment's notice. You can see that there are now Broodlords out on the field, and Mutalisk and Broodlord just working together to try and take down this Terran base here, as the Marauders and the Marines are still shooting through all of this here. All right, the siege tanks, 5 of the siege tanks, 4 of the Thors, 5 more of those siege tanks here, as we're now trying to take down this base once again. All right, Bly gonna be coming in with all of these Marines. No, decides not to. You can see also the Broodlords coming in from the top side here, and this could be the GG at this point. So many Broodlords, so many units just constantly attacking. JJAKJI not having much of a chance or anything here to try and stay alive. Those Broodlords and Broodlings just destroying everything on the field. There goes a couple more siege tanks, and Bly looks like he may have this if he's able to perhaps continue doing damage. He needs to hit this expansion here. If he doesn't hit that expansion there, he's in trouble, as his opponent has pretty much gotten a lot of gold here. How much gold is on here? Wow, there is not much gold left here at all. So taking down these drones, as much of a setback as it will be, which may not be nearly as much as I had originally intended or thought. All right, what's happening next? Changelings now making their way out across the field. Back down over here, you can see Ultralisk attempting to take down this one orbital command, and that is going to be huge. The Ultralisk do deal bonus damage versus against all of those units there. As you can also see, there goes an Ogre Magi, there goes an Argent Protector, and now... Wait, no, that's not an I am thinking about the wrong game. I saw the little yellow shield. I'm like, oh, Argent Protector. No. Ultralisk moving back around. Yeah. Don't cast when tired, but then again, I'm always tired now for some reason. Marines and Marauders simply walking inside the base here. That is not a smart move at all. The medevac may even get shot down. One more shot. Yes, there it goes. As the Ultralists are now trying to engage a fungal growth, I believe. No, that could have been a fungal growth landing, but I don't see any infestors, though. Are infestors being trained? No, not at all, as there are Broodlords just still in the air. That really looked like a fungal growth. Do we have Broodlords or infestors on the field? No, we do not. So, oh, wait, no, we don't. So, not quite exactly sure how all of those units were slowed down. Perhaps there was one and I just missed it. All of those Broodlords now attempting to take down all of these buildings. And what is going on? The Broodlords are just pretty much sacrificing themselves, knowing that those Vikings will be able to keep up with them continually, and they don't want that. All right, Broodlords, Ultralists now make their way inside. They're just going to go ahead and try and swamp or stomp on anything that is moving. There you go. The Ultralists are now back down as the Broodlings are still being dropped, and those Broodlings are going to clear out all of JJAKJI's own units here. All right, let's see. Nothing here at the front door. There is only one expansion here, and that expansion doesn't even have any minerals, so another expansion needs to be taken here once again. This Overlord, I thought there was an Overlord here. I guess not. Just double Spinecrawler, as we're now looking at another Viking swoop to come into position. The Marauders and the Vikings are all right here. The Vikings are now once again on the move. What are they going to find? What are they going to do with all of their spare time? Alright, Queen trying to take down a couple of Vikings. That did not work that well, as the Vikings now once again retreat. We are at 86 supply compared to 47. 47 for the Terran, but both of them still have decent sized armies. Overlords are now much more valuable than previously, since you do not want to spend the minerals on the Overlord. As long as you're able to save your Overlords, that is at least 100 minerals. Perhaps that could be a Viking or part of a Viking or a Hellion or part of a Marauder to fight back this engagement here. All right, so Terran bio is still extremely strong. There goes the Infestor with the fungal growth hitting on top of all those units right there. Not quite sure how much damage was dealt, but that did look like a promising hit. As the Marauders are now just getting absolutely torn apart. This is still not looking good whatsoever. The Medevac's now trying to escape. There's a beautiful transfusion by Bly to save his very low hit point Ultralisk. And the Marauder is still right there. There is a mule now being brought over. Oh, is it going to get taken down? You can see it's down to 200 hit points, 150, and no. Does not get taken down. There is one Infestor there. A second Infestor as well. Are we perhaps going to see some fungal growth coming in? We can see that the Broodlords are pretty much all but vacant here, and now we need to see perhaps the mules start to repair the Orbital Command. The Orbital Command has taken a lot of damage here, and if it does not get repaired, it will be destroyed. There are still Corruptors in the air, and they're going to see all of the starports being added in, so he knows that it's going to be a much more focused airplay. So far, one mining base. We should probably have around 800 to 300 in terms of resources. That is exactly it, as the starport is now getting into position. However, oh, infested Terrans now all of a sudden landing, and there goes that Orbital Command. That was a huge fault, or huge problem right there, as the infested Terrans could try and shoot down the starport. The starport will end up within, I believe, burn range in just a moment. Can't even lift off any longer, as the Corruptors are right there focusing down that starport. All right. JJAKJI is pretty much out of units. He has nothing left, and Bly is in dominant control with 44 harvesters. 44 harvesters compared to 1, and he's not even harvesting wherever he is on the map, perhaps waiting to become a building somewhere else. Nope, wait, what am I talking about? JJAKJI is the Terran, so this SCV just walked all the way back here to pick up some gas and now has nowhere to turn it in. This SCV does have a lot of problems here, and I think Bly is just saying, I have a base, what are you gonna do? And there's the GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 Bly over JJAKJI here as we go into game 3. Please, wow, my voice is going. Please tune in tomorrow, and don't have that much time to cast. So yes, this best of series will be cast over a number of days. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.